With the latest comments from the Fed on the potential for a rate drop in September, have you been thinking about making a move this fall or even this winter? Has it been a long time since you've made a move? Or maybe now is the time you need to move due to the loss of a spouse or a partner? Well, in today's video, I'm going to cover the top 5 things you need to do in order to prepare your home for sale so that you can make the move you want on your timeline while positioning your home to get the most amount of money within the least amount of time. Step number 1, this one's going to be a little personal. It's a personal assessment which only you can evaluate. You have to realize that deciding to sell your home is never easy. When you're doing so after the loss of a spouse or partner, whether due to death or divorce, it can be especially emotional and a challenging process. You must realize that selling your home is not just a financial decision, it's a deeply personal one and an emotional one. Before you even think about listing your home, take some time to consider your emotional readiness. Are you ready to part with the place where so many memories were made? Okay, if the answer is not yet, or you bet, timing is going to be up to you, and it's important to move at a pace that feels right for you. They say timing is everything, but that timing must work for you both emotionally and practically. If you're feeling overwhelmed, it might be helpful to reach out to friends or family, even a counselor who can offer support as you navigate this decision. Sometimes just talking through your feelings can really help you clarify whether or not you're truly ready to take the next step. And from a market perspective, it's also worth considering the timing of your sale in terms of the local real estate market. Like here in Denver, certain times of the year can be more favorable if you're selling or if you're buying. And that's part of what I help clients through when they're ready to discuss their move. There's no right or wrong time to sell, only the right time for you. Once you feel emotionally ready to move forward, the next step is to start preparing your home. And that brings us to step 2, calling your trusted realtor. I love it when my clients call me first, even if they're not ready to put the home on the market yet. This is a great time for us to meet, to walk through the property, to talk about what's staying and what's going with them when they leave. This is also a great time to talk about staging, repairs, or any updating that they're thinking about doing, and whether in today's market that's going to add any value in the sale of their home. This is also really a great time for me to share what's going on in the market with them. Not only what's happening in the market generally, but also what's happening in their city and, more importantly, what's happening in their neighborhood. The market is constantly shifting. It's never standing still. And depending upon whether it's shifting toward a buyer's market, a seller's market, or even a balanced market, that's information you're going to need to know in order to help you position your home correctly. And with the new changes from the recent NAR settlement, this is also a great time to talk about whether or not you're going to be offering any seller concessions to the buyer, or are you offering any compensation to the buyer's agent, and what to expect with the new changes to the buy and sell contracts here in Colorado. Now, number 3 is to pack up. I don't mean putting everything in the moving van. You're not ready for that just yet. But this is a great time to do what we call decluttering, or better yet, depersonalizing your property. This means that those lovely collectibles that you have may either have to go with you, or you simply need to let them go so they can find another home where they're appreciated. I just had one of my girlfriends come back from an estate sale, and she said the home was chock full of plate collections, mug collections, spoon collections, all left behind in an estate sale. Unless people share your passion for the items that you're collecting, most of them don't want it, and that includes friends and family. But you can get your friends and family involved when it comes time to do this in your home. One of my clients was recently preparing the family home for sale, so she invited her friends and family over to come and pick what they wanted. I asked her, what happens if 2 people want the same thing? And she said, well, they work it out themselves. What do you think of this idea? I thought this was a great way to get rid of the things that you don't want to take with you, and a great way to find out who wants what, so that you're not keeping it for them thinking, well, the grandkids will want this, or my children are going to want this, when in reality, they may not want it at all. Anything that was left over went into 2 piles. One was the donation pile, and the other was a garage sale pile. Now, this, along with taking down personal photos, special items like that antler chandelier that you want to take with you, helps you as you position your home for sale. Because, the buyer coming into your home, they don't have the same emotional attachment that you have to it. They're going to be looking at your space. They're going to be envisioning where they can put their furniture and how the layout of the home will facilitate the lifestyle they envision for themselves. Secondly, it's going to help you disengage or detach emotionally because you're just setting up the home, and maybe with some staging items and all the knickknacks and all the family photos and all the stuff that made it feel like your personal space are going to be removed. When my client did this, she told me later that this really helped her sort through and say goodbye to what was the family home. And it helped her get ready for her new space that she was headed towards. Now, step number 4 is really a choice. And I'd love your opinion on this strategy as to whether or not you think this is something every seller needs to do. Here in Denver metro area, some sellers are doing it and some sellers aren't. What is it? It's the pre-listing inspection. Now, obviously, there's pros and cons to this kind of strategy. You have to decide, what are you going to do with the information from the inspection report if you decide to do a pre-listing home inspection? One of the biggest cons to doing this, of course, is, whatever you find out, you now have to disclose. So that means if this home was inherited, or maybe it was the family home, or maybe you've been living in the home, but everything's been fine as far as you know, so you really haven't done any investigating of the property. Now, once you get that inspection report, you know stuff, and you'll have to share what you know with the buyer, because the buyer is going to ask you. However, I feel one of the biggest pros to this is that with this knowledge, you can make a decision. Like in the case of 2 recent clients, when they did this on family homes, they discovered that the roofs needed to be replaced. Yeah, both of the roofs. And it was due to hail damage. So in both cases, they were able to go ahead and get an insurance claim in. In fact, one of them already has the new roof and gutters on. Now they can advertise that they have a brand new roof. And this is really good if you have a new roof to the buyer, because 1, it shows the buyer that the roof is going to be very good. And 2, it allows the buyer to get a little bit of help with his insurance, because insurance companies love when there's a new roof on the house. So I think it's a win-win all around. I think the pre-listing inspection is a good strategy in some cases, because it also allows you to examine the property and be aware of anything the buyer might flag. This way you can create a strategy with your agent of how will you be handling these issues when or if they come up in the buyer's inspection. Or whether you're taking care of them now, it's no longer any concern that they'll come up in a home inspection. Inspection also brings up the question of what repairs to do. Pre-listing inspection, you'll have like a little list, and are there any leaks that need to be taken care of? Is there a radon mitigation system that's needed to be installed because you have high radon levels? Does your furnace need to be serviced because it's been a long time since anyone's even looked at it? Are there loose railings on the stairs? Holes in the walls that need patching? The appliances are staying with the property work correctly? These are the kind of repairs that would be great to do because they don't cost that much. You avoid the buyer flagging these items in their inspection. Plus, it kind of sends a message to the buyer that you've taken very good care of your home. They don't need to worry when they buy it. There's always the little extras like painting and caulking and a deep clean to give your home that refresh that will help you when it comes time to sell. This is a great time to really consult with your agent as to which inspection items could delay the sale or ones that you simply don't need to worry about. And then, of course, there's number 5, pricing your home correctly. Now that your home is ready to show, one of the most critical steps is setting the right price. Pricing your home correctly from the start is the key to attracting serious buyers and selling your home within your timeline. Recently in the Denver market, we've seen how important it is to be realistic about pricing. In these times of high interest rates and higher house prices, higher inventory, and now with the NAR settlement changes in effect where buyers are being asked to pay their realtors, we've seen that overpricing even a little bit can lead to sitting on the market for too long, which can make potential buyers wonder, is something wrong with the property? Now, as I mentioned, the market is always changing, and it's the same with pricing, and that's going to be very specific to your neighborhood. How many homes are for sale in your neighborhood? What is the list of sold price? How long are the homes staying on the market before going under contract and finally closing? I look at all of those things, and I look at things like, are sellers giving buyer concessions, and how many sellers in your neighborhood are offering to pay buyer agents compensation? I also take into consideration any unique features or recent upgrades or even remodeling that might add value to your home. It's important to remember that the market can change quickly, and what your neighbor's home sold for in like the last 6 months may not reflect the current market conditions, and that's why I offer a complimentary home valuation where I can provide you with a detailed report on your home's current market value. Pricing your home correctly from the beginning not only helps you sell faster, but also maximizes your chances of getting the best possible price. If you're curious about what your home might be worth, or if you're ready to take the next step and you're here in the South Metro Denver suburbs, I'd be happy to help. Hi, my name's Peggy Durstoff with Live Denver Suburbs, powered by HomeSmart. And if you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing for more helpful tips on buying and selling a home in the Denver suburbs. Also, please share this video with the people you care about who you feel might benefit from the information. And you can go ahead and check out our blog on the 7 weekend projects to boost your property value. Link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.